Hi, Jonathan Webster with TrenData. If you have not already downloaded the 2019 State of the Workforce Report from either ADP or TrenData, it's really easy to do. Go to TrenData.com, scroll all the way down to the footer, and look under the heading entitled Bonus Resources. You'll find access to the full report there. This report, from one of TrenData's marketplace partners, ADP, looks at pay, promotions, and retention across multiple industries and in varying sizes of organizations. So I'd like to introduce you to this report by providing a graphical summary of the executive section so that after you watch this, you can open the report and dive right into your industry section or the national overview for some high-quality benchmarking metrics. So 2 quotes from the report stood out to me right away. Employers routinely undertake complex organizational restructuring projects with limited insight and benchmarking data. Despite decades of business and academic research, empirical data for organizational benchmarks is still hard to come by. To fill this gap, the ADP Research Institute published the ADPRI 2019 State of the Workforce Report. It has high-quality, data-driven organizational benchmarks from ADP's anonymous de-identified HR and payroll data of about 13 million employees from 30,000 organizations across 8 sectors of the United States. So let's take a look at some of the thought-provoking metrics, and I would encourage you to be thinking about some of the ways that you can utilize this data. On average, employers will promote 8.9% of their employees annually, and those employees will receive an average wage increase of 17.4%. More broadly, 84% of all American workers in the study have non-supervisory roles, versus 16% of employees in supervisory or professional roles. Now, based on this survey, the national average time for an employee to receive a first manager promotion is 6.9 years. Further analysis of promotion rates by demographic factors reveals interesting disparities. Between the genders, males are more likely to get a promotion compared with females, 9.3% compared with 8.4% respectively. Promotion rates by generation show that millennials at 10.5% are most likely to get a promotion over all other age groups. So how can you use the information presented so far to make an impact on your organization? Well, understanding how your organization's promotion rate compares at national, industry, and demographic levels can help you diagnose career advancement issues. So here you're looking at running your internal promotion metrics against national and industry benchmarks to determine the health of career development programs, learning and development, and the cost of losing high performers. The report reveals that generally, organizations are more confident in promoting from within versus hiring externally for management positions. Also, externally hired managers are more likely to increase total compensation costs. Overall, firms promoted 8.9% of employees, while new hires made up a much larger portion at 30.2%. At the supervisory levels, firms promoted more internally than hired externally. 17.2% of managers are promoted, while 15.6% are new hires. The disparity is even clearer at the highest rankings in organizations, where 21.5% were internally promoted and only 12.5% were new hires. Males and females show significant disparities across pay and organizational hierarchies. Gender differences across hierarchy levels show that the proportion of women in senior level positions is significantly lower than that of men. This pattern was evident across all industries and intensifies up the corporate ladder. Also, the gender pay gap remains intact across hierarchy levels and is consistent with previous research results. The fourth management level, however, appears to define the glass ceiling. A steep decline in female representation even from the third level. While less than half of 1% of all American workers reached the 3 highest management tiers, the underrepresentation of women is problematic because these elite positions have an outsized influence on corporate policy and culture. The average wages of job holders in these 4th level management positions is also 40 to 50% higher. Considering that these leadership positions typically require candidates with substantial tenure and mentoring, short-term fixes will certainly be challenging. The impact you can have with this information comes from the sheer availability of new benchmarking data that employers can use for measuring the effectiveness of diversity and inclusion programs. So span of control is marginally correlated with turnover and promotions. Report data show that firms with high average spans of control in some industries generally exhibit slightly lower promotion rates and higher turnover rates compared to firms with low spans of control. So the impact, employers can adjust span of control in order to better manage employee turnover, especially in hiring environments with large numbers of younger and experienced workers. Of course, every industry sector has its own unique dynamic, and different industry sectors within the U.S. economy face different types of market conditions, growth rates, and consumption of resources. As a result, the organizational metrics within each industry sector follow distinctive patterns. Average employee age, wages, promotion rate, turnover, and span of control differ significantly. Similarly, organizational metrics vary significantly based on organizational size. The impact here, employers should compare their organizational statistics against companies within their industry sector and size whenever possible. So this report is packed with important information, and that is just the executive summary. There are literally 84 more pages in the report. If you haven't already signed up for this, go over to the TrenData.com homepage and click on my face to register, or you can go to TrenData.com/drivers to save your seat for the upcoming webinar entitled, What are the top drivers to determine a people analytics strategy? Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.